Hello, welcome to another video by me, Androzani 84, and as you can tell, this video is dedicated to the late Manakinzo, who died the other day. I thought I'd include that little dedication and some other things. Anyway, on with Act 24, Mystery of Time Rider. Like I said last time, he decided to do the Decade 8 episodes 24 and 25 instead of Shinkenja's Acts 21 and 22. Now, the crossover has begun. I deleted the previous entry due to errors. Haha. How's that funny? Now, Tetsuya, Time Rider, Jason, Kuga Rider, and Fai enter into another timeline where they hope to set things right. He's expected to know who these are, and I point out that he named Jason and Fai after the MMPR character and actors respectively. I'll try to be a little original, especially with new footage, and that weird smiley again. In my last episode, a mysterious guy had just stolen the squid sword in its little form. Seriously, you couldn't think of a better description than little? Little? He is a mystery man who we don't know yet. You literally just said he was a mysterious guy. We can see a travelling vehicle in the form of a two-story house in the timeless space. Nobody told me Doctor Who was in this. Two young men, a young lady, and an old man. And it ends there. This is something, said Tetsuya. We're at the year 2011. We must capture that mysterious criminal at all costs in this timeline and bring him back to our time. We must make sure he's defeated here. They made it right into the time in their ship camouflaged into a Japanese house. So it is Doctor Who. Oh, Tet said, something tells me that somebody has crossed the timeline without permission. It must be the Death Rider. He's always a nuisance. He may have played a little bit again. He might have caused that enemy to escape. Just then, begin to see a group of Unglers attacking the city. They had begun to cause trouble. What the? Says Tetsuya. We can't risk transforming in public, said Jason in a small voice. What exactly is a small voice? Exactly. And why can't they transform in public? Like exactly, but from the future, but nobody's gonna identify you. While the Unglers began to attack the city, the Power Rangers Sword Dynasty team entered in their civilian form. This is just weird. The Unglers don't attack so easily without somebody leading them, said Roberto. Just some Unglers, but we'll just have to beat them, said Michael. The vessels began to appear and prepare for formation. They transformed and took care of the Unglers. Friend or foe? Asked Tetsuya. So there is a superhero team in this world. Is it a world or a time? Could it be that this planet is one without riders? He probably should have come up with something like a bit more original. Just then, they were ambushed, and just when Tetsuya attempts to transform, his reflexes fail him. Seriously? His transformation card falls down, where you can easily pick it up. Are you alright? Said Roberto. You dropped this, whatever it is. Thanks, said Tetsuya. Michael drew his big slice of sword. Maybe don't go so direct with the translations there, and finish the rest of the Unglers off. They retreat afterward. The trio introduced themselves to the Rangers. Thanks for saving us, the three bowed at the Rangers. At the Lee Shan household, the heroes are wondering where Gavan is. Probably been sucked into Maku space where the monsters are 4 times as powerful. It's something he hasn't appeared. Something he hasn't appeared, said Michael. It's not like him. You've known him a few days at most. How is this not like him? Something must have happened. Back of Tetsuya and his friends, we all see an old man who is Fai's grandfather. Original, huh? I should have held you to that. Earth sure is filled with wonders, said Fai's grandfather. On the other hand, we must stop Shadow Rider before he steals any more stuff. Yeah, Shadow Rider's a real menace. What are you doing about Death Rider? He may end up altering the timeline without knowing it. If he intends to alter the timeline, then I'm sure he knows it. On the other hand, there was some event we must stop, but I forgot. Good God, you old goat. You mean the event where some monster gets the card and becomes... Austin suddenly feels something in his bones. Who's Austin? It's coming back together. What is? What if we can't prevent it? Said Tetsuya. But then our mission is to make sure history goes up the right path and destroy anything that goes wrong. Vi's grandfather seemed preparing some cookies as well. On the other hand, Gavan, speaking his usual heavy French accent, was chasing after the mysterious man. Give me back that container, said Gavan, chasing after the mysterious young man. Make me, said the mysterious young man. He introduced himself as Danny. Come on, if you're going to go with the theme of naming him after the MMPR cast, you could have named him anything. David, Jason, no wait, you're already using that. Austin, that would explain something. Walter, Steve, Johnny. Just to stop there. Now it's time to show you the powers of the Shadow Rider, continued Danny. Stixion! Exclaimed Gavan with a funny face, which is nondescript. Your ignorance is bliss, said Danny, who is now in Shadow Rider form. Gavan transformed into the Gold Dynasty Ranger, and the two fought. It's not that easy. I'm summoning Scissors and Raya, said Danny. Two riders, namely Scissors Riders and Raya Rider from Kamen Rider Ryugi. Come on, put some effort into your adaptation, even if it's just only for 2 episodes. Show up and a heavy fight ensues. I just said, give me back my squid android. Apparently he doesn't think of it as much of a person if it's just an android to him. At the death vessel, Erebus is worried about the appearance of a new enemy. This is bad, said Erebus. Erebus began casting his incantation and summons Many Eyes. That's a dumb name. See who his enemy is and eliminate him at all costs, said Erebus. Back at the battlefield, Gavan destroys Scissors. Nothing new there. Take that, now give me back my squid Zord, said Gavan. Impressive, said Danny. Suddenly the wicked Many Eyes appeared and blasted Raya, not destroying him apparently. Whoever you are a threat to our master's empire, said Many Eyes. Many Eyes blasted Danny and Danny reverts back to human form. Just what I needed, said Many Eyes. Now I have the power to destroy everything. Erebus back at the base is shocked as Crystal Ball's risen. This is not right. He's supposed to run out of water, but what the? He may soon take over. Erebus is worried. At Tetsuya's base, they sent it. Oh no, we weren't able to prevent that event. That criminal has appeared, said Tetsuya. Let's go. Tetsuya appeared and then so did Michael. Many Eyes was there and both Gavan and Danny were injured. Austin was there as well. Come on, is it Austin or Jason? Who is this Austin? Tetsuya said, take Danny to a base and make sure he doesn't play any pranks. Tie him if you have to. Yes, sir, said Michael. Why is Michael suddenly Tetsuya's bitch? Tetsuya then transformed into Time Rider. Another foe, said Many Eyes. Two began a duel which was soon going to cross the boundaries of time. Not likely. It's time to die, said Tetsuya, before he can alter the future again. Just as he did it. Did what? The monster skipped away for a while. Now I'll use this power, said Many Eyes. Transform! In a flash, Many Eyes became a monstrous version of the Shadow Rider. Continued, no, I am now the Death Rider. And now we're back with Act 22. Time spins again. In the last episode, the monster Many Eyes has become a Death Rider and both teams will have to collaborate on defeating the enemy. Tetsuya is seen at the battlefield fighting the now Death Rider. Just then Michael shows up and says, we must fight together, we expect to destroy the Death Rider that destroyed your future. So you offer your help. Very well then, said Tetsuya. Time Rider, activate! Before Tetsuya could activate his transformation, Gavan runs into him and says, you have done it, don't you? Give me back my squid Zord! Calm down, said Tetsuya. I'll convince him somehow or he'll get it. He's been misbehaving too much. I won't call trying to destroy the past misbehaving. At the Lee Shan household, the others wonder where Michael was gone to. I'll let you pick out what's wrong with that sentence. Now just excuse me a minute while I clear my throat. Okay, and we're back. It's not like Michael just to leave just like that, said Roberto. I guess he must be trying to find a way to defeat that new enemy, that Spawn. Thing is, I think we can trust Time Rider, said Charles. What made you think you couldn't trust him? At all? Michael has given me directions, said Marianne. I guess this is where we should go. While the other rangers enter, there's an argument between Gavan and Danny. Give me back my squid sword, said Gavan. Well, this isn't the... Before Danny could finish his statement, Gavan steps him on the foot. I'll let you figure out what's wrong with that sentence. That's enough, said Michael. We'll get your squid sword somehow. The other rangers enter and see the conflict going on. Marianne gets her frying pan and hits Danny on the head to knock him down unconscious. Seriously, you went for one of the most overused humorous tropes and played it entirely straight? What the hell is wrong with you? Thanks for doing that, said Tetsuya. I believe we have to team up if we expect to defeat the Death Rider. That way your world won't be devastated. The future depends on it. Yeah, we haven't actually found out what the bad future is actually like. What really happened, asked Michael. It's simple to explain. As you see, we are police of time, and because, well, Denny is too mischievous, and that we knew if Picard fell into the wrong hands, it would be disaster. If we don't do something, there'll be an army of these hybrids soon walking around from where the Death Rider came from, said Tetsuya. There are a lot of problems in that paragraph, but I'm not going to bother pointing them out. It's too much hassle at this point. Right. I guess we know now what we're facing against, said Marianne. Danny wakes up again and says, well, I'll accept giving back the squid sword if I can get my card back. But the card is evil. Why would you want it back? Karen says, well, you have a deal, but I'll punch you in the eye if you don't keep your word. Oof. Stop it, said Michael. We're not here to fight them, but to beat the common foe. At the death vessel, the Death Rider appeared. Master, if I steal any more of this technology, you will soon get it too, said Death Rider. Amazing, said Ambighetto, pointing his metal gauntlets at the card. Use it well, but remember, I am still more powerful than you are. To prove it, Gedol still managed to undo the transformation of the Death Rider to Many Eyes and back again. I shall finish the work, Master, said Death Rider. I shall not attempt betrayal on you. At the base of Tetsuya, Director Samuel Hung also appeared there. How does everyone know where Tetsuya's base is? So now we have to combine our efforts, said Director Samuel Hung. This may be the only chance to avoid the carnage from happening to your world, said Fire's grandfather. Jason said, it's time for me to become Cougar Rider in battle and assist before we go back to our future. I guess we have to bait him out, said Michael. If we get any more cards, he'll definitely give it to the others. This is it, said Tetsuya, if we can get him out of his hiding place. As we were planning, Death Rider began to assemble the troops. His Highness will soon ride to destroy this world. We must get him the other cards. Then I'll surrender this card to him, said Death Rider. Why, you're all powerful, you could take over. The youngers were assembled, but then it was time. Death Rider got help from Necro Eagle and Moose Rammer, who, if you're unaware, that's the Eagle Undead from Kamen Rider Blade and the Moose Fangai from Kamen Rider Kiva. From his summoning, this is better than I thought, said Death Rider. Now I have created at least 2 monsters. You have to be careful, said Tetsuya. Austin, now let's transform. Is Austin and Jason the same guy? Is he mixing up the names that badly? Power Rangers saw Dynasty prepared their transformation scenes as well, and it was time for battle. That reminds me, why did Tetsuya and Danny get transformation announcements but nobody else does? It's time for Cougar Kick, said Austin, who now performed a jump kick attack at Death Rider. It's not powerful enough, said Death Rider. I am more powerful. The 2 other monsters he just created were dealing with the Rangers like dolls. We can't defeat them, said Roberto. We can't give up either, said Charles. Tetsuya and Austin finally perform their kick attack at Death Rider, knocking him off balance. Rangers drew their swords to destroy the Unglers. Gavan, wanting to get his precious Squid Zord back, used his lightning barrage attack to clear the screen. "Let's finish them," said Marianne. "Everyone, draw your swords and attack." Both monsters were severely weakened. Austin performed his cute Cougar blasts. Cougar does not have firing energy blasts. As he has a gun in Pegasus form, that's it. And I remember Onodera did not turn into Pegasus in this episode. At both monsters destroying them. "Now there's only one thing to finish before returning to the future," said Austin. "Let's team up." Said Tetsuya. "Let's switch weapons," said Michael. Michael drew his big slicer sword and Tetsuya his big rider blade. Seriously, why is it with you and terrible names? And they swapped weapons. "Now it's time for this moment. Ultimate slash!" Both Michael and Tetsuya ran into the enemy and performed their attack. Blast! That's not a sound effect. A huge explosion happened and Death Rider was destroyed, but not without recovering the shadow card. Gavan jumps in and gets the shadow card. "Well, can't let them leave for the future without giving back the deal," said Gavan. "So you're not going to give him the card back? Good luck living without your squid android." "We've done it," said Tetsuya. "Now at least this world won't shatter. We still have other time periods to fix." What? Just then the Power Rangers Sword Dynasty team returned back to the house. "Now here's your card. Give me back my squid," said Gavan. I said, "Okay, here it is." Danny got his card back and the Squid Zord is back safe and sound. But still, Danny had to be tied. "What gives?" asked Danny. "Well, until you learn to behave, we'll have to tie you down," said Fi. She then turned to viewers and said, "Well, it's been nice knowing you. That'd be a sweet sentiment if Fi had been anything more than an MMPR reference the whole time." They had been baking cookies while they were away. Now she had given them some. "Here are some to remember us by in this photo," said Fi. "This photo? That's not particularly described. The Power Rangers were amazed to see their faces. However, Michael's looks kinda horrible." "Yes." "Well, I guess your black heart did show up her," said Marianne jokingly to Michael. "I doubt that was jokingly." "What gives?" said Michael. It was time for them to move out and they saw the house vanish before their eyes. They gave their salutations. "Well, at least we've gotten everything back to normal," said Director Samuel Hung. "And Miss Squid Zord is back safe and sound." There's 2 comments from Fancy Leader, who likes the chapter even though the author doesn't, and he wants to know what needs to be done, with Akizuki making a post right now as when he was posting it. I'm not going to search out that post since it would take too long. Instead, I'll move on to chapter 23, The Rampaging Attack, which sounds like a blind idiot translation to be a title for chapter 24. On the Death Vessel, Gedor is furious about the Styx Empire's failures to destroy the Rangers. "Every monster I've sent has been nothing but a worthless pile of junk," says Gedor. "And that punk Skull Slash have done nothing but to get in my way of Michael Lee Shan. I'll destroy him and the Power Ranger. It's the last thing I do." Just then, Gedor lets out a scream so powerful that shakes his ship and leaks out of the cracks into the human world. Some giant unglers come out of the cracks of a large cliff and begin to attack the city. Dynasty Rangers arrive immediately and summon their Zords. Gavan jumps into the Lobster Zord of the Squid Zord and used as its staff, while the Rangers form the Great Sky Dynasty Megazord. Meanwhile, back at the Rangers' base, Fat and Finn tells Samuel Hung that moisture from the Styx Empire has slipped through cracks in the ground. Director Hung fears the worst. "It's time to retrieve the Battleizer." Dun dun dun! Also, I doubt the author knows what exactly a Battleizer is, otherwise he wouldn't have used that as the name for Bashinkan Maru. Back at the battle scene, the Great Sky Dynasty Megazord and the Lobster Zord are heavily outnumbered. The Great Sky Dynasty Megazord is attacked by flying unglers, but the attack has little effect. The Great Sky Dynasty Megazord then flies to the air to defeat the flying unglers. After it lands, Great Sky Dynasty Megazord and Melopsazord apply the finisher to the rest of the Younglers. Gavan is a bit of a rust, so he leaves quickly. The other Rangers go back to the base, where Director Hung informs the Rangers that moisture from the Styx Empire has leaked out into the human world. Director Hung informs about the leaking moisture, sign that Gedor is becoming more powerful. How can we stop the Styx Empire if Gedor becomes stronger? Asked Marianne. I'd like you to figure out what's wrong with that. In Del Rio Forest, there is a case that was hidden by the Li Shan clan decades ago, replied Director Hung. The case contains a disc to activate the Battleizer, as well as a secret code needed to combine the Tiger Zord, the Swordfish Sword, the Beetle Zord, and the Squid Zord into one powerful weapon. Why do I have data for something that didn't exist back then? It is a secret that was taken from China to America so the Styx doesn't find it, but alas, they will. Now we must activate it. How will we be able to activate the Battleizer from a disc? Asked Cornelia. Beer's head of the Li Shan clan was not able to do it, but with Gavan's ability to use aura power, I believe we can do it this time, said Director Hung. I will give Michael the map and he'll lead you guys there. Alright everyone, let's go, said Michael. Suddenly appearing on the death vessel and surprising Erebus is Spider Devil. Long time no see, Erebus, said Spider Devil, while pointing a sharp blade at Erebus. I remember the equivalent character did not have blades of any kind, he had long pincers. You were banned from this ship after you betrayed Gedor, said Erebus. I'm not going anywhere. Instead, you're going to help me destroy Gedor, said Spider Devil. I have no part in that, said Erebus. The Emperor is our ruler. You do what I tell you if you value your life, said Spider Devil. I'm going for a Starscream voice for him now. The Power Rangers are searching for a new power hidden in the Del Rio Forest. With Gedor in his current trance, I can use that power to drain Gedor's power and rule the Earth. Why you? Said Erebus as Spider Devil pointed his blade at Erebus' head. Silence! Said Spider Devil. You're an idiot if you think you can defeat Gedor, said Erebus. When Gedor is in a trance like he is right now, I can drain his energy. If I can get the Ranger's power source, said Spider Devil. I think this was a guest written chapter. But if so, why is there repetition? By this time, the Power Rangers have reached Del Rio Forest. After walking for several minutes in its downward path suggested on the map, Rangers find the case buried underneath a pile of rocks. Rangers dig through the rocks and find the case. It's that easy. So this is the black box, said Michael. A very interesting one if you ask me. He said Marianne. Just then, the Feng Shui master came. Greetings, you must be the new Sword Dynasty Rangers. I never thought that I would meet them. As you know, the sacred field is where the black box is hidden much later, said the Feng Shui master. What? Ni hao, how are you? Asked Michael. I'm doing quite well. This Feng Shui box will unlock power greater than you have, and since the Styx followed us here, we must protect it from them, said the Feng Shui master. At the moment, however, they're ambushed by an army of Unglers led by Spider Devil. During the fight, Michael is injured and captured by Erebus. The Feng Shui box is ours, said Spider Devil. The Rangers shocked. Marianne panicked and screamed out his name. Michael! Why would Marianne be screaming out his name? She barely cares about him. Meanwhile, the other Rangers transform and call Gavan for help. Gavan tells the other Rangers he's on his way. Rangers defeat the Unglers, but appear to be no match for Spider Devil. Spider Devil's attacks overwhelm Charles and Marianne, causing him to de-transform. Gavan then appears in his ready to transform and fight the Spider Devil, but Cornelia and Roberto grab the Spider Devil. Cornelia tells Gavan, go find Michael, he was captured and he's injured. Leave it to me, I'll find him, said Gavan. Gavan leaves and the Spider Devil wrestles free from Cornelia's and Marianne's grasp. Spider Devil then hits Cornelia and Roberto with energy slashes, causing them to de-transform. Meanwhile, Erebus threatens a wounded Michael. Give me that power cane or I'll destroy you, said Erebus. Then Gavan appears and transforms into a Gold Dynasty Ranger. You're not laying a hand on Michael, said Gavan. Gold Ranger, you're a pest, said Erebus. Meanwhile, Spider Devil is about to finish off before de-transformed and injured Rangers, when he's captured by a rope coming out the cracks of a tree. Bit anticlimactic. Spider Devil, your betrayal will end here, shouts Gedor. Gedor pulls Spider Devil away from the battle scene through the crack and back to the Styx Empire. Erebus, in the meantime, has the upper hand on Gavan. Erebus ties up Gavan using his long tentacles before Gavan breaks loose. While Gavan and Erebus are distracted in battle, he misspelled distracted, it's with an E instead of an I. Skull Slash appears and picks up Michael. "No one will finish off the Red Ranger except for me," said Skull Slash. Skull Slash leaves the battle scene and Gavan is unable to chase him down. Gavan then notices the other Rangers lying down nearby. He turns to their aid and notices that they're all injured. Back on the death vessel, Gedor tells Spider Devil, "Do you really think I'm that stupid to let you destroy me behind my back? I will show you no mercy for your treachery." "So you've woken up from your trance?" asked Laidling. Yeah, the evil overlord said yeah. Let that sink in. "And Spider Devil's treachery has made me angrier. Now I'll show you the wrath of my power, Spider Devil," said Gedor. But, stutters Spider Devil. "Shut up," said an angry Gedor as he strikes Spider Devil. Gedor then strikes Spider Devil, ever with a large ball dose of power that awakens several giant unglers. This episode continues to Act 24. And Mr. Smith commented to apologise for the big spaces. That's the least of the problems here. Here, Mr. Smith. Act 24. The new combination surfaces. I assume this is back to Akzuki now. At the previous episode, Michael has been kidnapped by Skull Slash. Just then a Chinese guy bows down to both Gavan and Director Samuel. "I'm so sorry, I can't do anything," said the Feng Shui master. But it's not a random Chinese guy, it's the Feng Shui master. But then Michael left the seal with me before he got kidnapped. Is it the seal that was hidden away from China to this place? The Lord of the Li Shang clan before never thought the stick could reach as far as here, said Director Samuel Hung. But it kept the secret safe. Gavan, you will now be in charge of trying to unlock the seal. There's still one thing. I will include my Zords as well, said Gavan. One of them is already included. Don't overdo it. Your body, if it uses too much aura power, can burst, said Director Samuel Hung. That's not good grammar. It should be your body can burst if it uses too much aura power. On the other hand, the thought of a Ranger injured. Marianne is having too much of regret on how cold she can be. Oh god, she's gonna warm up to Michael, isn't she? Back at the Del Rio forest, Skull Slash is back in his human form. He finds a medicinal springs and tosses Michael into it. "What the?" Michael said, feeling his body rejuvenated. "You need to drink it," said Skull Slash. "Drink it! I don't want to fight a weak opponent. I'm a man who would not strike an injured man." And medicinal springs began to take effect. Back at the death vessel, Gedor is angered and now pointing his metal gauntlets at Erebus. "Erebus, explain your actions," said Gedor. "I was passionately in fear of my life, so I pretended to side with Spider Devil," said Erebus. "I can forgive you, but Skull Slash is getting on my nerves. He comes and goes whenever he wants," said Gedor. "And for a test of loyalty, Eadling in your relationship with him and kill him. End your relationship with him and kill him." Lady Link stood frightened before her emperor. Gedor fired energy bolt which teleports her away. "What? Why couldn't she teleport us out?" "My lord, aren't you being too harsh?" asked Erebus. But Gedor gave a glare of disapproval, despite wearing a mask. He then began to fire dangerous fires at Spider Devil Overmore, who is now suffering at the shore. "Now he will be a mindless beast to help me destroy the Sword Dynasty team," said Gedor. "Cast my spell and let him be the newer, more powerful agent, but loyal to me." At the base, Genja is filled with his wacky hyperactive ideas, like Gem and Gem will be an RPM, but at a lot higher level. Okay, 1, that requires a bit more description than 2. Yeah, we know Genja's happy, but what about Gavan? "This disc may be the answer. That's some slot I have prepared," said Gavan. "How? It was built long before you were a ranger. Combined a bit old and manure of the Li Shang clan. Maybe the only thing to defeat the new enemy and unlock the battleizer from the Feng Shui box." Gavan began to use all power straight into the seal. 1, 2, 3. It gave energy to arrest. Funny, but how we're healing faster in this chamber, Shao said. Like in those old Chinese movies, we need some rest. We can't do anything at this stage, said Roberto. Our leader is missing. Don't give up, said Cornelia. Michael won't fall down very easily. There's no end to that to there, so I assume the rest of Mrs. Cornelia is still talking. On the other hand, Marianne is in tears, unable to speak. As a Karen, Michael gets up and talks face to face with the human form of Skullslash. Ever since I met you, my soul saver has been reacting greatly, said Skullslash. I don't want to be here, said Michael. You'll be here until you are well enough, said Skullslash. Now perhaps you'd be interested to know that I was once a human of the underground. It was a tragic night and all. I found his sword in hopes of finding power I could never find. When it was that time Gedor was also there and grants me power, so I accepted. Why is your backstory so confusing? Foolishness, said Michael. How could you just go after power? That's all that matters. Power and honor. I will not strike you down if you are weak. The Soul Saber doesn't tolerate foul fight, said Skullslash. Okay, I've got to say that's another awesome name trapped in this terrible fic. Ick, said Skullslash. However, you are probably the last male descendant of warriors, trained to be a warrior and all. That's a true and real opponent. Lady Ling watched from behind, hesitant to do what she was ordered to do. Back at the Li Shan household, Gavan is concentrating to a point of exhaustion, meaning he's failed to do what he was explicitly tasked to do. God damn it, Gavan. Aaron, stop it, just stop it, said Samuel. You can't take any more of that, and that must be done, said Gavan. All that power! The others awaken with a renewed spirit. We'll lend our disc in order to break the seal and allow the new power to come forth, said Marianne. Can you fight without your discs? Said Roberto. I know we can hold on. Right, we put up. No, wait. We can certainly do it. But you can complete the seal on time, said Charles. You can do it, said Roberto. We put our trust in you that you can do it. Just then a mystical receiver sound and Spy Devil is back. We must go, said Roberto. I know we can hold on. As they arrived to their site of battle, the monster looks different. I don't like the look of this, said Marianne. Before them transformed, the monster released tentacles to defeat them. On the other hand, at the Li Shan household, Garan is completing the process. After a tedious process, it's completed. Last, we can use the Li Shan secret path. However, that they've never unlocked before, said Director Samuel. I'll go and find Michael. It's all will lead me to him, said Gavan. At the cave just then, Skullslash tried to challenge Michael to another fight. This time it'll be over, said Skullslash, and my thirst has returned. Okay, we had to take a bit of a break there, and I forgot where we were, so I'll just start over at the cave. Just then, and Skullslash tried to challenge Michael to another fight. This time it will be over, said Skullslash, and my thirst has returned. And as Mike is about to draw his sword, Skullslash turned to his monster form. Just as Mike is about to transform, Gavan leave this place. But never dare, said Gavan. This is despicable, said Skullslash. Yeah, this fanfic really is terrible. Thanks, said Michael. Gavan used some emergency teleportation, which he had on him conveniently to take them both to where the others are. Monster Spy Devil was winning when Michael appeared. Sorry to be late, guys, said Michael. Now it's morphing time! Red Dynasty Ranger! Finally, a morphing call. My battleizer is complete, Michael. Use it now, said Gavan. Michael then did his pose, placed a seal on his sword to activate the battleizer. Just then, he had a white vest which increased his powers. And the Sentai fans will criticise it for being a one-man power-up instead of a team one, while the PR fans will criticise its aesthetic for looking ugly, or enhance it, or either criticise the aesthetic for looking ugly or praise it for looking better than the base suits. These are the facts, people. Now it's time we finish this, said Michael. Battleizer, attack! Michael, now dressed in the Dynasty battleizer, began to attack the soldiers. And only the evil spider was left. Sword of Fury, finish! Said Michael as his sword's blade began to blaze in flames like never before. He then attacked the monster to destroy it. Boom! Now it's time for giant battle. For giant battle. I'll let you figure out what's wrong there. This is it. Time to test the new combination, said Gavan. Then 2 new giant monsters composed of only a head, large mouths, and only legs came out, apparently without eyes. The Dynasty Megazord finally combined the beloved Zord to form a new combination called the Great King Dynasty Megazord. This combination is new, said Michael. No duh. Great work, Gavan, said Charles. Thanks, said Gavan. The new combination smoothly took care of the giant unglers. Is that what we're calling them? Just then it was time to execute the final attack. 4 of the Zords can become a cannon, said Gavan. It's time to call them. Michael, Charles and Roberto called their other Zords. Beetle Zord, Swordfish Zord and Tiger Zord came with Squid Zord and formed one massive cannon. We have to finish them now, said Michael. Let's be careful with the aim. We only have 1 shot. Use a lot of aura power. Target lock. Meditation. Fire. Just as Spider together with the 2 Chompers, oh that's a slightly better name but not by much, was about to attack. A monster massive energy scale destroyed them. Woo, said Michael, we finally did it. Victory clap, said Gavan. Rangers finally celebrate the coming of a new combination. Mate, looking forward to it or? Well, I guess we said no mark, said Gavan. And I've cooked some sushi. Marianne, on the other hand, was still trying her best with sushi. She was, after all, better with non-Asian food. Michael and Marianne were kind of sitting behind each other. Marianne, this time, was somewhat having her feelings revealed. Oh, God. Yeah, these chapters weren't much great, but to finish off this video, since I can't go for chapter 25 without looking at a summary, since it doesn't exist, I'll read the comments. Fancy Leader again asking if Sean would like him to do 28, and actually responds, but yes, I need more creative ideas. I'll have to clarify whether or not he actually did do that chapter, since as far as I can tell he didn't.